okay girl, whatever. We done tried. Hit me with your best shot because, okay, I'm tapped out. I'm here to talk a little bit about how I got pregnant. Like, so, doc, you know how my eggs looking? What them eggs look like, okay? What them eggs do, right? I don't know if we can see this on camera, but you know, the liquid gold. But it's not like implanted like you think it is. I'm scared. Basically, I'm here to talk a little bit about how I got pregnant, because for a long time I was not able to get pregnant and I did not know why. Nobody could explain it to me, and me and my husband, we decided to try. I think it's before we even got married. We were just like, you know what, we want another baby. We already had his daughter, who was 2 at the time when we met. We had my son, who was like, I think, how old was Marty? Maybe 10. I know he was in the 5th grade, getting ready to turn 11. So, now listen, give me a second. Why is this so bad? Anyways, girls, we're back. So basically, today I'm going to be talking about my IVF journey. Pregnancy journey, getting pregnant. I know that's too much. I try. I cannot be that serious. I'm sorry. This is my outlet, so just work with me, okay? So anyways, we decided that we wanted to have children. Well, more children, because we already had his daughter, we had my son, and then we were trying, and it was just like, what are we gonna do? Because nothing's happening. So you know you have to go, like, they say if you take like more than 6 months, or is it 6 months to a year? I cannot remember, but either way, it was 6 months. We were like, nothing's happening. What do we need to do? And so we went to go talk to the doctors and see what we need to do. They checked all the kind of levels, and they were just like, we don't know. Then they said, well, maybe you can take more vitamin C, or maybe you can do this, maybe you can do that, you don't have enough fat. It was like so many things to where it was to the point I was like, you know what? This is a lot. Nobody can tell us what's wrong. So let's just try something else. And so we just tried it again on our own, and it was like nothing was still happening. So they were like, why don't we just, you know, check out everything else with the uterus. You need to take this kind of test, take that test. And then we did that, and then nothing was wrong at the time. But after a while, it was just like, okay, this is like really starting to get, you know, okay, it's getting a little stressful, because, you know, and everybody, not a lot of people relate to these emotions, but usually when you're trying to have children and you can't, you get frustrated because you're like, okay, this is infertility. Why am I like this? What's happening? And then you feel bad about yourself. You feel bad. You start to develop these feelings that you probably never even thought you would develop for wanting to have children. Because like you spend your early like teens and 20s avoiding it, and then when you get older, you're looking for the baby. And the baby's not there. And I don't know, I biologically had my son, like, but that was on birth control. I was on birth control, so my hormones were regulated. They were balanced, and I had been taking birth control since I was like 14. And I know I'm all over the place, y'all, but just come walk with me, talk with me. I'm trying to get it out without being out of breath. Alright, this is the Felicia Fridays. Nothing is planned. We just talk about random stuff, and this is where we are, random. Alright, so then fast forward, I think, yeah, we were in Virginia, and the nurse was like, oh, well, not the nurse, but the doctor was like, oh, let's just kind of like check your uterus to make sure you don't have anything going on with you, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, whatever. I know I was told before that I had a slight case of endometriosis, because I used to have really heavy periods and my cycles used to be terrible when I was in high school. So I was like, all right, I'll go get checked, girl. I don't know what else it could be. But then they found like a polyp on my uterus, and I was like, what is that? Why is that there? And I was like, I didn't even feel anything. And I was like, well, you know, can we get rid of it? Like, is it there to stay? What's happening? What's gonna happen to me? I was terrified. This happened like 2 years ago, and yeah, about 2 years ago, and I was really terrified. And they had tried, I think they had tried like the timed intercourse first, and then they did IUI, and like nothing, you know, was happening. You know, like when they take the, I don't know if you can take this on camera, but you know, the liquid gold. They take the liquid gold and they, you know, insert it, and then you're supposed to get pregnant. But it wasn't working for me. I did it like twice, I think, and after the second time they were like, well, we need to just, you know, send you to get a, what is that test called? Let me, where's my phone? It's like a dye test they use to make sure like your fallopian tubes are open. HG something. I'm gonna look at it. Hold on real quick. Dye test. Oh, it's an HSG test. Super ghetto. 0 out of 10. Would not recommend. If you don't have to do it, don't do it. But because things were happening where stuff wasn't doing what it was supposed to do, they sent me there first. And when they did that, that's when they found the polyp. That's when it was. When they those were after all the uterine checks were checked. That was the last resort, and that's when they found the polyp. And it was just like, oh, scared for my life. Okay, but it hurt. It didn't feel good. It didn't feel good at all. So I had to go through that first, get that removed, and wait another month. And then all this time that was passing by, we were trying to get ready to go to Serbia. And so the last time we tried, I think it was the IUI, it was like maybe a month and a half or 2 months before we were getting ready to go to Serbia. And they were like, well, either you can do your IUI now, or you can just wait. And I was like, I'd rather just do the IUI now instead of waiting, just to kind of see what happens, because that way we'll be mid-traveling, and if something were to happen, then we'll just already be over there in Serbia. That was my thought process at the time. So nothing happened. Didn't get pregnant, and so I think I had already accepted the fact that I was like, you know what, maybe you're just not meant to have any more children. And I don't know how many other women feel this way, but that's just how I was feeling. I was like, you know what, it just might not be in the cards. Or what? This is dollars. What's the cards? No, how do you shuffle? It must not be in the cards. The cards for me. And I just accepted it. I accepted it. I was ready to move on with my life instead of trying, because I was taking so many, it was so many hormones, y'all. I'm surprised I didn't blow up to like 200-something pounds. And not a knock against people that are 200-something pounds, but my body, my frame just can't take that. I already can't breathe. And y'all already hear that I'm out of breath now just from talking, and I'm pregnant, okay? So no, it doesn't work for me. So we got to Serbia, and we agreed that we would try one more time. At least try one more time. And so we got a recommendation from the doctor there. They told me that it was like one of the best doctors they could recommend. And I was like, okay girl, whatever. We done tried. Hit me with your best shot, because okay, I'm tapped out. And so when I went for my first appointment, I had to, you know, they check your eggs, they ask you to come in at a certain time. You know, if you're not new to the whole infertility process, you know what I'm talking about. But if you are, they want to check your ovulation cycle to see like how many eggs you're producing, how your fallopian tubes. They want to check all that stuff. So they did that, and after the doctor did it, I was like, so doc, you know how my eggs looking? What them eggs look like? Okay, what them eggs do, right? I asked her that, she was like, well, you're 37. And I was like, okay, I know I'm 37. I don't need to be reminded that I'm 37, okay? Just, alright, don't do that. Just let me know what the eggs look like. And so she explained to me that my eggs were fine. It's just, you know, as you get older, you go on a little decline, alright? But they were there. So she said, you have nice quality eggs. Your eggs are good. Let's have, you know, your husband come in, have him give his liquid gold, and then we can go from there. And I was like, okay, you know, it's fine. And so she said, well, we're gonna do IUI. And I was like, Lord. I done tried IUI and it does not work. Can we skip to the end? Like, the end would have been IVF at the time. And she was like, no, we have to see how your body reacts. We have to see how your uterine lining is. We have to see how your estrogen and progesterone levels are. And obviously they were still imbalanced because nothing was sticking to my uterine wall. So, hold on, I'm thirsty. So she basically had me take these hormones. Took the hormones, went in for, when they told me to go in for the IUI, and nothing happened. Like, I didn't even get my hopes up. I was like, well, you know, what do we do now, doc? Because I don't want to do this no more. I am done. Because I have been taking hormones basically for 2 years, y'all. And I don't know if y'all know how weird or like, I don't know, they just throw you off. Like, even though they're already imbalanced, they just throw everything else off. Like, everything chemical wise in your body is dependent on that hormone. So it just makes you feel a certain type of way. You don't feel like yourself. It's not that you feel depressed, but you just kind of don't feel like you know. And that was like 2 years. So then I asked her, I said, well, if that doesn't work, then like, what's my next option? Because I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to keep just taking hormones and then like not having some type of tangible outcome to like, I don't see any results to this, and my body is just, you know, extra hormones, they do things to your bones and stuff, and I don't need those problems as I get older. So she said, well, the next step would be to do the IVF. And I'm speaking like this because it's my Serbian doctor. Just ignore that. I don't just ignore that. Okay. So she did that. She set me up for egg retrieval, which that was like, I did that last April. Last April, I went in and started everything, like all the medicine and all that, and I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna ask me how much it cost overseas versus being here in the States. And overseas, I think we paid like 3,000 euro, maybe. And over here, it's like closer to $10,000 to $12,000. So it was a lot cheaper. But you didn't have to pay it all at one time. You basically paid for your medicine as you went. And I was able to, I just went to the actual hospital to get my medicine administered because I didn't want to do it at home. I didn't want to make any mistakes because we had invested so much time into it, and I was just like, if somebody gonna do it, it's gonna be them because I can't do it. So did that, and let's see, they retrieve, well, they give you the medicine, then they schedule your retrieval date, and you kind of like swell up at the bottom, like you look like you could be maybe 3 months pregnant before they retrieve your eggs, but they actually put you to sleep to retrieve your eggs. And when you come out of having your eggs retrieved, it's a little painful, I'm not gonna lie. Didn't like it at all. But I was in this room with this girl because we shared rooms. It was just like me and another person. This lady, she was Serbian, but she lived in Florida back and forth with her husband. And she said that she had tried IVF like 3 times. And I was like, oh no. I wasn't thinking about myself, but I was thinking about her. And then I was like, you know, fingers crossed, right? Like we were in this together, like fingers crossed, girl, I hope this works out for you this time. And I'm thinking like, I'm scared. It's your 3rd time, girl, I'm scared. This is my 1st time. You know, like you just a champ, okay? I don't, So I went first and I came back and she was still there and I was in pain. I didn't like it. They gave me some medicine for it. They were like, well, here's some more medicine to kind of ease the pain, and it helped, and I was like, thank God. And after that I was fine. Just had to take a little bit of stuff when I went home. And then they called me back that next week because they had, you know, they had my husband's liquid gold, you know, and they called me back and they told me when I can come and do my transfer. And I want to do the transfer like right away because I was like, I don't know how many embryos we have, like how many do we have? And they were like, well, you have 3. And I was like, I can live with 3, but how they looking? What they look like? Are they healthy? Are they trying to be, you know, getting bigger? Like, what's up? So she basically told me day 5 of the, they have to sit for like, incubate for like 5 days, and once they make it past 5 days, then they can be implanted or whatever. But it's not like implanted like you think it is, because most people think that they just take the embryo and just stick it in the wall. That's not how it works. The first one we did was in May because it was around like Cinco de Mayo, and that was a fresh embryo transfer, and that one failed. It didn't work out. She said she knew it might not have worked out, but the reason why she wanted to try it was because it looked like it was trying to like come out of that, I think it's like the protein wall or whatever that thing is called. It's like when it first starts to expand, where the cells inside of the protein wall want to come out to attach to the uterine lining. She said it looked like it was trying to do that and she wanted to give it a chance. And I was like, okay girl, let's see what we're gonna do, because all we got is one more, because the first one, you know, passed away or didn't make it, just didn't develop. So did that. That one failed, and it's like I didn't have any emotion. It was like, I think I had just become so numb to the fact that it was like it just wasn't gonna happen, and I was okay. It was like, okay, nothing new to me. Yeah, I think it's a defense mechanism. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think that's what that is. But this, I guess that's what helped me to get through the fail. It was like so many fails over the past 2 years. So many failures. Like nothing was working. So I just kind of developed this numbness to it. And after that one didn't take, I was like, well, me and my husband talked about it. We sat down, and I was like, well, we got one more. She said that one, if this one didn't work here, which didn't, that this next one worked, because it was a big boy. It was big. That thing, like, it was ready to start growing legs and walk about in that clinic. It was a big embryo, okay? So she guaranteed me, like, she knew that the one that we're pregnant with now was going to be the one that worked. And so we did a frozen transfer, which that was the one, the big boy. And we did that one, and it had to be towards the end of May. It was towards the end of May, and June. No, I lied. It was towards the. We had to wait for another cycle. That's why. So we waited for another cycle, and then I had to take medicine to prepare my uterine line. That's what it was. She wanted me to take some more hormones to prepare my uterine lining. But the thing is that before you do that, like during like the egg retrieval, and then after that, you have to get like so many shots. It's like I know I had to at least have gotten like 40-something shots, y'all. And I used to be terrified of needles, but that helped me get over all that. Needle wear. Scared of needles wear. I'm not even scared of needles no more. I can look at them and be like, okay, what's up, needle? Anyways, I'll reel it back in. So anyways, I had to go every day at a certain time just to get a shot. And then once I did that, I had to take medicine when I went home. Like, it was like on a schedule. It was like 4 times a day you have to take this, and then twice a day you have to take this, then you have to take 5 different vitamins. It was like so much, and the vitamins it was so much, y'all. It was so much. Between the shots and the vitamins and just the extra hormones, trying to get my body right for the transfer, it was killing me, y'all. Like, I was stressed and like never depressed about it, but it was so exhausting. And once it got time for the transfer, I was like, okay, cool, maybe I can like relax on some of this stuff. No. Went in for the transfer, everything was fine. The transfer doesn't even hurt. The things that hurt are like IUI. The IUI sucks, okay, I didn't like that. But the IVF transfer, it was nice. It was smooth, I didn't have to go through a whole lot, it wasn't painful, and it was okay. So I did that, and I was like, well, let me back up. Before me and my husband did that, we talked about it, and we were like, well, this is our last one. What do you think? And we were at work, and we made an agreement. We were like, okay, if this doesn't work out, let's just go out tonight and have some drinks. And I was like, you know what? Okay, not tonight, not that night, but if it doesn't work out, when we get our test results back, we're gonna go out and have a drink if you're not pregnant. And I was like, okay, but I'm not doing this again. That's it. This is gonna be it. We just have to accept it. This is where I was at mentally. This is where I was. So it was towards like the end of June that we did the transfer, and then you have to wait like 10 or 11 days or something like that. And I was so nervous. I was like, I don't feel anything. I don't think I'm pregnant. I was like, no, I don't think I'm pregnant, because it's just been so many no's. Like, it's been so many no's. Like, when's the yes gonna come? I thought that the yes would never come. So I went July 11th. No, I went July 10th to get my test results. Actually, no, I lied. I went July the 12th to get my test results, and I was like, I don't feel anything. But I noticed that, like, I felt like extra full. Like the night before I went to go get my blood drawn for it, I felt extra full, and I was like, I know I can eat 2 slices of pizza now. I ain't that far gone. But my stomach felt so full, and I was like, that's nothing. And then I noticed my pants, like at the bottom, it was like, nah, I know you just hate this pants one of the day, girl. Like, why it's like the meat, not the meat, but just had extra fat. Like, trying to like close myself up, I was like, girl, these ain't fit like this last week. But I didn't think anything of it. I was like, you know, maybe I just gained a little bit of weight. But I was like, no, you was size 4 to 6. Like, you never been really over that size unless you just was pregnant. And I was like, no, no, And so like, you know what, it's alright, it's okay. We're gonna get our test tomorrow and we're just gonna see what happens. So I had to go early that morning to get my test, and it was the day after my husband's birthday, and I had to go straight to work after that. And so they're like, well, we'll just email you your results. This is what it's supposed to look like. And I was like, okay, you know, whatever, it's fine. The email came in, and I was like, I wonder if this number is supposed to be this high, because, and this is like the HCG or whatever. I was like, is this number supposed to be this high? I was like, why is this like 600 something? I was like, am I pregnant? I was like, wait a minute, because I looked at my last results, and the last result was like 0.1. It's like 0.1 with the thing like this, and then like a 0. And I was like, that meant no. But this one says 678. And I was like, does this mean I'm pregnant? I was like, oh, I think I am. And so when I got the results, the hospital got the results, I think maybe 5 minutes after me, and they called my phone, and they were like, Miss Felicia, do you know you're pregnant? Do you know you're pregnant? And I was like, I think I know. I was like, I think I am. They're like, congratulations. They were like cheering all of it. I heard them cheering in the back, and I was like, yeah, we did it, guys. It was a wonderful day. My husband didn't know yet, so I called his work phone. I was like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, nothing, just working on some stuff. And I was like, okay. I said, can we go out? Let's go outside and like get some fresh air, because we have like this little back patio thing when we work. I was like, let's just go get some fresh air, because I'm hot. And then he's like, oh, okay. And so he looked at me and I looked at him. He was like, did they say anything yet? And I was like, we're gonna have a baby. He was like, he just put his hand down. He was like, for real? And I was like, And then we knew we were pregnant on July the 12th last year. I was like 4 weeks. I think 4 weeks pregnant, I think. But I didn't feel anything. So that's how we got here. A week away from getting ready to have this big old boy. This boy has been big since embryo status. You hear me? Like, I gotta get a picture of it. So maybe one day I can post it. But it was like, it was bigger than all the rest of them. It's like, if this was like the piece of paper, I'm not gonna say this piece of paper, but on the paper, this one was the size of the one that didn't make it. This was the size of the one that was like, barely holding on. This was him. He's been big since conception, okay? And now he's gonna be an 8-pound baby, okay? But anyways, I just wanted to come on here and just give some love to the women that could be struggling with infertility, or just don't know like what's wrong, because sometimes it can be unexplained infertility, and like you really don't know, and you're beating yourself up thinking you did something wrong, or your body's made wrong, or like you just don't know what's happening. You can eat all the healthy stuff you want to eat, but biologically, if your systems do not line up with what needs to happen in order to get pregnant, it's just not going to happen, which is the sad truth about women's bodies sometimes, even men. So I just want to give a big hug to those who struggle, like I said earlier, with infertility, because I struggled in silence. I really didn't let anybody know. Nobody knew what I was going through, except for my husband and my mom and, you know, my family, but nobody knew. Nobody knew like my ups and downs and like what I was dealing with, or like whatever. And I thought it was because I had competed in like bodybuilding competitions or whatever, because like you don't have enough fat, or your estrogen is off, or whatever. I thought that was like something that was wrong too, but I was like, I didn't take anything. I did natural bodybuilding. I did everything with food. So I'm like, that can't be it. Like, I know I was like 130 something pounds, and I was trying to get pregnant. I was like 140. I had gained, my competition weight was like 132, but then I gained back my regular weight, which is like 145, 147. And when I started taking hormones, I was like 155. I stayed at like 152 to 155 when I was taking hormones. And so I'm like, I got fat, girl. Like, what else you want me to do? So just know, like, you're not by yourself. There's plenty of women that are out. There's plenty of women that are out here that are struggling with infertility, and just don't give up on yourself. But be realistic with yourself. And if you need help or anything, or if you just need to talk to somebody, it's a lot of women that are on Instagram, a lot of women that are on Facebook, or whatever social media outlet you feel like you need to talk to. Girl, I have a no judgment zone channel, okay? If you feel like you just need to talk to somebody about it, then talk to somebody about it. And it's okay to vent to people that you're close with, because a lot of times we think that we need to suffer in silence, and that hurts us the most because we feel like we don't have anybody that can relate to us. So I didn't think I would ever have any more children after my son. You know, he's 15. So I'm grateful, I'm thankful, and I can't wait to meet this little busybody of a baby because he does not sit still, but I love it about him. So I'm just glad I can feel him moving, you know. But anyways, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope I didn't talk you guys to death, but this is what Felicia Fridays are about. It's just about unplanned talking, unplanned things, just having fun. It's not going to be the same topic every time. It's just going to be different stuff that happens to everyday people. So thanks for watching.